Well, Valentine's Day has come and gone, so it may be a good time to talk finances with your partner. A new survey shows that 40% of people have committed what's known as financial infidelity. But what's the best way to bring up this very touchy topic?
Financial advisor and president of SGL Financial, Steve Lewitt, is joining us now to talk about what you and your partner should be talking about when it comes to love and money. Steve, welcome.
Thank you for being here.
Fair to say that marriage is a series of trials and errors and a whole lot of compromise. But what I can gather is you are a big advocate of transparency when it comes to finances is the best policy.
Absolutely. Secrecy in relationships is normally not a good thing, and financial infidelity is more common than most people think. In fact, the survey showed that younger generations are actually more apt to hold secrets from their partners than older generations. And then Bankrate did a survey that said the two most prominent secrets that we hold from our partners are, one is we don't tell them about debt that we owe, and we don't tell them about spending that we don't want them to know about. So this is where transparency becomes really important to have. I suggest all couples, have regular meetings, not big deal meetings, maybe over a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or something, just to talk about money, get on the same page, and make sure that you both understand what the rules of your relationship are.
Oh, that sounds so bad. Financial infidelity? I do have a question for you because, every couple wants to talk and be transparent, or most couples, you would think. But you also don't want to be sort of telling your partner, oh, I bought this pair of pants, and then I bought this shirt, and then you don't have to give like a step-by-step guide of everything that you've purchased on a given day. So explain what you mean by being transparent about your finances.
Yeah, so couples handle finances differently. Some couples will divide and conquer. So one person has the expenses and pays the bills, does the budget, and the other person does the savings and the investments. And lots of times they never talk to each other about these things. So it's a matter of getting together and creating a plan of some kind, a budget of some kind, and just knowing that your partner and you are on the same page and you're both working towards the same goal. Because what happens is that sooner or later, those secrets come out, and then you're looking at each other, throwing daggers at each other. You never told me about that, and I never agreed to that. And that's the unhealthy part of a relationship that you'd like to avoid.
It just creates a myriad of mistrust. I'm interested in the older versus the younger generation. You said the older folks don't hide that money, don't hide that debt. Is that because they have learned from experience that's a bad policy to keep?
Well, I think the older clients that I meet with, as compared to the younger clients, their relationships are more mature. They've learned to trust their partner more and be more revealing to their partner. In younger relationships, it often takes time to develop that kind of trust where you can share something that you think your partner's not going to like she's not going to like this, or he won't really be happy if I tell him this. But in the more mature relationships, they find that they can really share those things and sit down and talk about them, or find help to talk about them, which helps the relationship. So, the American Psychological Association said that 50 to 60% of marriages end in divorce. That's and up to 67% of second marriages end in divorce. So communication, it's all about communication. It's all about working together like a team, treating it like a team, and just being as honest as possible. Not sharing every detail. We don't care about that, but we do care about honesty and transparency.
Big picture. Okay, Steve Lewitt, always nice to talk to you. Good advice. Thank you.
Take care, Steve.
All right, stay well.